Hello everyone, I'm Father Sam at Holy Redeemer Church, standing in front of our Indigenous art wall, which commemorates the contributions of the Indigenous people to this land. As a way for us to spiritually unite our hearts and prayers with the Pope as he travels across Canada to acknowledge the harms done by the residential school system to the Indigenous peoples of Canada, we'll be offering a small reflection each weekend in July. This is a small step, but it's a starting point, and we hope it will be one way that we in this community of faith live out the calls to action in the Truth and Reconciliation Commission report. We know that words of apology are not the end of the story. Changed action and thoughts are what make the difference. We're indebted to Reverend Catherine Somerville of St. Stephen's on the Hill United Church, who has provided much of the content for these minutes of right relations. Our first reflection begins with an acknowledgement of the TRC recommendation number 59, which calls on the churches to develop ongoing education strategies to ensure that congregations learn about their church's role in colonization, the history and legacy of residential schools, and why apologies to former residential school students, their families, and communities are necessary. One way we do this is by acknowledging traditional territory. Today we read the land acknowledgement and commitment to accompaniment that was prepared by Holy Redeemer with the assistance of a member of the governing board of the Atikamekw Anishinaabe Nation. The Royal Proclamation of 1763 acknowledges that we are settlers on this land and that the Crown respects the rights of all Indigenous peoples to those parts of the land that have not been ceded, purchased, or which are reserved as their hunting grounds. It also ensures that settlers would not take advantage of any Indigenous peoples. In 1783, the Treaty of Paris was signed by Great Britain and the United States of America, ending the Revolutionary War and enabling the two countries to establish boundaries and fishing rights in North America. The Treaty of Paris thus enabled further treaties to be signed with Indigenous peoples and the governing authorities of the United States of America, as well as with the Crown in Canada. Consequently, in 1815, Chief Shawanakashik and his band were the sixth nation to sign the Robinson-Huron Treaty, which set aside for the Atikamekw Anishinaabe the tract of land occupied by them between the Wanapate River and the Vermilion River, and all the land between those two rivers up to 7 miles inland from Lake Huron. We, the people of Holy Redeemer Church, respectfully recognize that the land upon which the church and its rectory is built is located on the traditional land of the Atikamekw Anishinaabe. We also gratefully acknowledge the benefits which the Robinson-Huron Treaty gave to the Diocese of Sault Ste. Marie of the Roman Catholic Church in establishing places of worship. To our Creator God, we commit to respecting the Indigenous spiritualities and practices of our Atikamekw Anishinaabe brothers and sisters. We further commit to continued accompaniment of and dialogue with our Atikamekw Anishinaabe brothers and sisters in our common pursuit of truth, justice, and reconciliation, as we humbly acknowledge the Church's role in past harms done to the Atikamekw Anishinaabe, resulting from the doctrine of discovery and the process of colonization. We rely on our Creator God to help us to overcome our sinful past as we strive to walk together into a future where this sacred land may be a place for all to live together in love, peace, and harmony.